At what point do you start kind of making it like an actual dress rehearsal the preseason as you get, I mean, you only got a couple games left. When do you start to kind of narrow it down and say, we're getting ready for the curtain to come up for real?
Well, we're doing it every day in practice. I mean, the guys work with their groups in practice, and the games, you know, we may do it a little bit tomorrow, but again, I think these is trying to see what the young guys can do when the lights come on. You know, we're getting a lot of work in our practice as far as with our units are concerned. You know, and probably this game coming up, the last game for sure, Jonesy, as far as more dress rehearsal.
How much do you take advantage of that time, like for the young guys? Because once you get going for real, they're not going to get a chance, and this might give you a window into a time when you could use them. Do you have to play that off and measure that? You want your real, you know, your starters and your top units to be sharp, but at the same time, it's a valuable time for the young guys.
No question. It's a little bit of both. We want to make sure you use that first quarter and that third quarter as time to make sure your starters are crisp and working together, see what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. And also, too, like you said, this is valuable time for young guys or guys that are trying to make it to show what they can do in the league. And you know, the last game probably is up in the air. We're probably closer to what we want to try to do minutes-wise and that type of thing. But we'll see with that, too, because one thing about it, what I don't want to do is have an injury in one of these games, and then they're out for the first part of the season. But so we'll see.
Yeah. To that end, how valuable is what you get from the other team in terms of video or stuff that they're trying to run?
Not a lot. The teams are doing bare bones stuff. We're doing bare bones stuff as far as what we're running, how we're running things, you know. So we want to make, that's why practice is so valuable, to make sure we execute our plays and do what we're doing, the new stuff we're doing in practice.
So how much do you pay attention where something that happens in the preseason, it might pop up in game 21 or 22 and you say, hey, wait a minute, didn't they try that in the preseason?
Well, yeah, you know, you would do that, but I think the stuff they're doing now, they're not showing any of their great best trick plays or whatever, but again, we keep all that, catalog all that, make sure we keep notes on all the stuff they're doing here in preseason. And a lot of it also, too, is personnel. You get to see some young kids that you normally don't get to see. You know, because they either go overseas or they play in the D-League. So it's a good opportunity to see a lot of different things.
Sean Norm hobble off there. What happened to him?
He fell and hit his butt and his elbow. But he's okay. I think he'll be a little sore, but he's okay.
Was Terrence able to practice too?
Yes. He's fine. Everybody's healthy.
What kind of guy is Scola turned out to be?
Great. He's a leader. He's a smart player. He's experienced. He plays multiple positions. He's an excellent teacher of helping other players, working with them, telling them what to do on the court. His quiet leadership has been great for us.
Is it hard sometimes for an older guy to come into a relatively younger team and get that kind of role at this point?
Well, not really. It should be easier because he comes in, he's learned what we're doing pretty quickly, and he's gained the respect of the players because they know who he is. They know his track record. He knows he's been the MVP of the FIBA games numerous times, world championships. So his respect is unbelievable as far as amongst his teammates. So it won't take him as long as it would someone else who's coming in and trying to make it also.
Sorry, a guy like, we were talking to James Johnson a little bit earlier. I know he got hurt out in Vancouver and didn't get a lot of work in. Is he coming along okay?
James is coming along. James is having to learn multiple positions because he is such a versatile player. Fair or unfair, he's playing the 4, playing some at the 5 a little bit just to look at him, and he has that ability when teams go small. The key with James is keeping his head up and making sure he stays positive, stays ready, no matter what happened or who's on the floor, because he's in that role right now.
What's the biggest advantage of having him at the 4 against bigger players?
Size. athleticism, speed, and quickness, and then also at the 5, same thing, size, speed, and quickness. You know, he's got to learn defensively the pick and roll coverages at the 5 position, but everything else is pretty normal.
You mentioned that he spent most of the summer working on his jump shot. Have you seen a difference in terms of that area of his game? Is that something that you've encouraged him to?
Well, no, they haven't. You know, we want James to take the shots the game gives him. He's probably the best driver in the league at his position. You know, he can shoot the ball, we know that, but, you know, he has advantages taking guys off the dribble and getting to the rim, getting 3 the old-fashioned way. He's an excellent corner 3-point shooter. So those are the things that, you know, he's worked on and he's gotten better at.
You talked earlier about him not getting down on himself or the situation or whatever. How hard, like, consistency has been a key for him, and how hard is it for you to say, suck it up, it's okay?
Well, no, it's very difficult because I know how hard James has worked. And, you know, my heart goes out for him, but he has guys in front of him here. So he's always going to be in that role, you know, unless someone, knock on wood, is injured or whatever, but he's got to be a pro. That's what's going to keep him in the league for a long time is him embracing that role, doing it in a positive way, and being able to play multiple positions because he is such a valuable tool, you know, at the 3, at the 4, at the 5. But mainly, we've told him this year, mainly the 4 and the 5. So, but he's done a good job. He's been positive. He's come back from injury, and it's been pretty good.
Other than you, Coach, is there a player or another coach, maybe a guy like Jerry Stackhouse, who's not too far removed, that might be able to help James with that kind of stuff if it becomes an issue?
Well, no, it's being a pro is what it is. I don't think you have to assign a coach or a person to James. You know, he's a pro. He knows. He has coaches working with him. Again, you know, he understands what his role is and you know what's being asked of him. And the key is like you said, is fight the consistency and be consistent, be positive, and embrace the role. And there's a lot of guys in the league that's been in the league a long, long time that embraces that role. And you know, there's a lot of guys that don't make it in the league because they don't embrace that role. So he's got a great opportunity to embrace that role.
I know you talked a little about this yesterday, but Scola, Patterson, starting 4-ish kind of thing. Is it going to go right down to like after Montreal, last practice kind of thing?
No, we're getting closer to it. We're getting a good feel for it. Both guys, again, it's nothing. One guy winning the job over the other. It's one guy that fits as well as the other. Both guys are excellent at what they do. Pat is a 3-point shooter. Scola is a passer, reader, mid-range guy, and he can stretch out there and shoot the 3. So he does it in practice, and he's done it a couple times in the game. But he's such a versatile guy that he can do a lot of different things. And then also, too, you got Anthony and James at that position, too. So we got a lot of valuable guys. We can't play them all. And, again, the guys that are playing have to do their job, and the guys who not have to be ready to go in and give us what they can when their numbers call.
Would you be comfortable going into the season sort of platooning that position based on the matchup if somebody doesn't kind of stand up as being that guy?
We'll see. I'm not going to announce what we're going to do right now, but we'll see. It's not going to be the backup quarterback controversy. It will be solidified, and the key thing is guys have to do their jobs. You know, that's what it's going to come down to whether it's on the second unit or the first unit. Both guys have to do their jobs because we do have a lot of valuable guys that are ready to play.
Backup quarterback controversy. I'm sure you've seen that sort of not tear teams apart, but affect teams.
Right. If you're not a pro, it will. Right. If you're not professional, if you listen to the noise, it will affect you. If you're worried about winning, it won't affect you, if that's the number one thing on your mind. But if you're listening to the noise or you're about yourself or you're about whatever other reason other than winning about the team, it will affect you.